Who is to blame the most for the debacle in Tennessee? My name is Mike Petraglia, Trags, joined by Alex Barth and Evan Lazar. The blame pie, there was plenty to go around in Tennessee on Sunday after the 34-10 loss to Mike Vrabel's Tennessee Titans. We'll start with special teams. From the opening kickoff, the Patriots allow a 58-yard return. It sets up the Titans' first touchdown of the day. Alex Barth, we don't usually see Bill Belichick teams get off to such a terrible start, especially on special teams.
Yeah, a point and emphasis not just on that first return, but throughout the game. He had a bad penalty, too, and a punt was Chris Hogan. I know he's been out there the last couple of weeks. I don't remember in the last few years seeing Chris Hogan play special teams, at least not this much, and I'm not going to get on Belichick for spending a lot of money using up roster spots on special teams. I know a lot of people want to do that with Brandon King, etc. I'm fine with that. But the reason you're doing that is so guys like Chris Hogan are not out there in that situation. Why is Chris Hogan out there? And if he's continuing to overbite, if he's taking penalties, is there not somebody else? Belichick's talked our ear off for the last 2 weeks about the depth chart on special teams and 66 spots. Who's the next guy on the depth chart for Chris Hogan on special teams right now? Because it's not pretty.
Go ahead.
Just quickly, you don't have to trash Belichick for spending money on special teams players, but if the special team doesn't perform when you're spending special teams money on special teams players, then it's fair to criticize, because
Absolutely.
You can't have that. You can't have $5 or $6 million of your cap space every single year allotted to the Matthew Slaters, the Cordell Pattersons, the Brandon Kings, and then have the kick return unit be as bad as it has this year.
Offensively, the Patriots looked as out of sync as they have all year. Certainly the Detroit Lions game on the road on that Sunday night, they were bad. But here on Sunday in Tennessee, what happened to the running backs? James White with Sony Michel back healthy, available to the Patriots. It looked like the Patriots completely went away from the running attack and went all air all the time, and it did not work out, Evan.
Right. As this team is currently constituted, with Rob Gronkowski especially sidelined, Sony Michel, Cordell Patterson, and James White are three players on this team that need to get touches. They just simply do. They're simply better options than some of the other guys that they have, especially with the ball in their hands to move the sticks. And if they don't get the ball on offense, then you're going to see an offense that lacks creativity, that lacks ability on the perimeter, especially. Those three guys, those are focal points of your offense. James White has basically been the MVP of the Patriots offense through 10 games this season. To have him completely, out of the game plan and basically get shut out in this game, that can't happen anymore. It just simply can't.
Okay, we've talked about the special teams. We've talked about the inefficiencies and the miserable performance by Tom Brady's offense. The defense. Two things stuck out to me in a bad way. First of all, the secondary did not cover itself in glory whatsoever on Sunday in Tennessee. Even Stephon Gilmore looked very bad out there on Sunday. He was getting beat time and time again. One time on the touchdown, you could understand he was in good coverage, got beat, but a couple of other times he lost his man, and the Patriots gave up big plays on second and third down. The other issue was the tackling and the Patriots' defensive line. I thought at times guys got blown off the line of scrimmage.
Well, you mentioned the Detroit game. There are a lot of similarities between this game and the Detroit game, but the thing about that game, and I mean, if you watch these videos, you know that I was furious after that game, but that happens to the Patriots. Not often, but it happens to that team in September. To then fast forward and see them not able to get any pressure and not cover in the middle of November, coming off of their best performance of the year against Green Bay. Bill Belichick teams never take steps backwards like this. To follow up the best defensive performance of the year with the worst defensive performance of the year, I can't remember ever seeing a Belichick team do that. They're supposed to get stronger as the year goes on, and they're back to square one now, as far as I'm concerned. With that performance, that's what they looked like.
I don't think they're back to square one,
That's
Alex.
what square one looked like.
Yeah, it's what it looked like, but you're taking a one-game sample and extrapolating.
Let me rephrase it.
Go ahead.
Look like they did back at square one today.
That's
that
better.
Is what I was trying to say.
The weird thing about it is that basically it starts at the line of scrimmage, right?
Yes,
and whenever
they
this
were not
team
good at the line
on
of
both
scrimmage.
sides of the ball, whenever this team loses the line of scrimmage, either offensively or defensively, and they lost it on both sides, they lose the game. That is what happened in Detroit. It's what happened in Jacksonville, and it's what's happened again this week. We talk so much about Tom Brady. We talk so much about the coaching staff. We talk so much about the players on the outside. Josh Gordon. We do a video about Josh Gordon every stupid freaking week, right? But the main thing is that in the trenches, and I know it's not sexy, I know it's not what people want to talk about, but if the Patriots don't win in the trenches, they don't win the game more times than not.
Just to take a step back, what they've done in the past, and they've had to deal with some good pass rushes, right? Facing the Jets twice here, they've been good the past couple of years, the Steelers. When they don't win in the trenches, they've made adjustments and figured out ways to still win the game. 3-step draw, Brady throwing the ball quick, using draws, using play action, getting the pass rush off their rhythm. And what they didn't do today, just like they didn't do in the Detroit game, there was no adjustment. They lost the line of scrimmage, and Josh McDaniels just stuck with what he was going to do going in. And the Bears said, all right, pardon me, this is how locked in I am on that. And the Titans said, all right, if this is what you're going to do, this is well, our defense is working. We don't need to change anything.
They say that the bye week is for self-scouting. The Patriots have plenty to self-scout in all three phases of the game. Special teams, defense, and offense really all failed them on Sunday in a 34-10 loss to the Tennessee Titans. They're 7-3, a week off, and then they have the New York Jets down at MetLife Stadium. Outside Gillette Stadium, he's Alex Barth.
Right here?
There's Alex Barth. There's Evan Lazar. I'm Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.